Hey, English 2130, it is Sunday night, or perhaps you are watching this on Monday, but let's talk about what we are going to do this week. So last week we finished up with Colin, Baldwin, and Hughes, and this week we are going to round the Harlem Renaissance out with Miss Zora Neale Hurston, who I'm slightly obsessed with, and then we are going to move into the Southern Renaissance with William Faulkner. So our reading list this week, we're going to read Sweat and then A Rose for Emily. A lot of you may have already had A Rose for Emily. It's a very cool story with a twist ending. So, I hope you love it. I do. It's perfect for Halloween. But you are going to have a Southern Renaissance quiz. It's a little film. You're going to watch the film and then take the quiz. Then, of course, we have our discussions, which I love because it's the only chance we really get to talk to each other. And then you are going to have a Rose for Emily quiz. Okay? Now, again, trigger warning. We are in the Southern Renaissance. Also, a few of our African American writers from last week use some language that's uncomfortable, and that we just have to remember the time period that these writers were writing in. So I just want everybody to be aware that these things are going to happen. So I just like to place a little trigger warning up there so you are mentally and emotionally prepared. But here's our little quiz. This has some language in it. Oh gosh. But the video itself is so informative, and I didn't want us to miss out on it. So just know that there are some triggering language. Also in A Rose for Emily and Sweat, we have some language as well. But I think that these stories are amazing. Zora Neale Hurston is fascinating author, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Not only was she a writer, but she was also an anthropologist, which is incredible to me. And she lived in Florida. She lived at Daytona Beach for a long time, which is really crazy. She lived right there on the Halifax River, if you're familiar with the area. But she's just an amazing writer, and I just don't think enough people teach her. So I hope you enjoy Sweat. But what I was get back on topic with her being an anthropologist, she was very interested in preserving the dialect that people used during this time period. So you're going to see a lot of that dialect from the time, and I think that's really interesting to pay attention to as well. But I hope you guys enjoy this, but it is a bit triggering. And then also our discussion this week, it talks about spousal abuse, which is one of the big issues in Sweat. And so let's just, be respectful to one another. This is a safe place, but let's just talk about this story and what we think of what's going on and what's happening. All right, so I'm excited about this week. It's going to be an insightful week. The stories are relatively short, but I think they provoke a lot of thought, and hopefully it'll provoke a lot of discussion as well. Okay, guys? All right, so as always, if you have any questions, concerns, or issues, please email me. I'm here to help you in any way that I can, and I hope you guys have a great week. Okay? All right, we'll see ya.